that, we become the enemy of the state. But here we go with the 5 C's. Here's the plan. Here's the plan. The first C, and we saw them do this last year, create a crisis. That's the first step in the plan. Create a crisis. Why? Because the first step goes to the second one. When you create a crisis, the people go into chaos because of confusion. And when the people are confused, the system collapses and then they can control you. Did you hear me? Create a crisis. Let me give you a quick example. Outside of COVID, the crisis, because this one is a man-created crisis. But let me give you another example. They told us, was it earlier this year, that we were out of gas. Everybody was out of gas. Now people who usually only drive on a quarter tank were filling up. You know what that caused? A shortage of gas. There was no shortage of gas until they created the crisis. Then the people went into panic mode and chaos ensued, and you had crazy people at the gas station with food-lined shopping bags trying to fill up for gas. Because when people go into chaos due to a crisis, it causes confusion. And then once confusion sets in, then the system begins to collapse. We see that now even with the banking system. Why do you think they're pushing so hard to have the IRS monitor accounts with $600 or less deposits and there's $600 or more deposits in it? It's designed to cause frustration in the banking system, because in order for a system like ours to collapse, you have to trust the system itself. That's the only way for communism and socialism to function in this type of society, is you have to first collapse the system in place. So collapse the banking system, you send everybody into economic chaos and peril. The system collapses, and once the system collapses, control sets in. Control sets in. Now I can control you because you're all confused, you all hate each other, everybody's mad, the vaxxed are fighting against the unvaxxed, the masked are fighting against the unmasked, and there's chaos. There's chaos. I don't think it broke though. It didn't break. My sister got insurance on it. But it causes chaos. So here's what we have to do. Here's how we fix that. Here's how we fix that. Here's the solution. We have to change our focus from each other and begin to focus on those who are the real problem. Can I say something to you real quick? Antifa's not even the real problem. The real problem is those who enable them. Can I be honest? Most people who work with Antifa are broke. Who's paying for their hotels? They broke. You know how I know they broke? None of them got jobs because they out riding all day. So Soros is paying for them, and now his son is about to take over the reins. So we have to begin to turn our focus on the real problem. The real problem is the government that is enabling all of this chaos. When we turn our focus on the government and remind them that we, the people, control this society. This is how the fathers created it. There's something in the Constitution, I'm almost done, I think this is my second closing. There's something in the Constitution, I was reading it, don't know exactly what it was, I usually keep a copy of the Constitution on me. But it says that when the government fails to do its job and becomes, in my terms, tyrannical, and oversteps its boundaries and does not live up to what it's supposed to do, it says clearly in that document that we the people are obligated to form a new government. You have a handful of people in Washington, D.C. You have a handful of people in our state capitals and in our cities that control the masses of us because we allow them to. Because we allowed them to. We allow places like Facebook to control us because we're so afraid to get off of Facebook. So they know if they censor us, we'll stop talking. Because we don't want our accounts to be suspended. We don't want to be in Facebook jail for 30 days or more.
I will never be silenced.
But when you realize that we are no longer the silent majority, we are simply the majority. There are more of us than there are of them. But can I say this to you? There are more of us than there are of them, but here's the problem. We are so fragmented. Events like this should be packed from here to the governor's mansion. But instead, I'm going to just be honest, many of our conservative brothers and sisters would rather be keyboard warriors and fuss on Facebook and put secret messages in Telegram and do all of these things rather than show up and let their voices be heard. This is how they control the masses. By silencing us through fear tactics.
Time to make noise.
It is time to make noise. And here's my final closing. We have got to make noise continuously. We cannot make noise one Saturday out of the month. We cannot make noise one hot summer. We cannot, can I say this? We cannot only show up to rallies because Trump is holding a rally. We have got to use our voice continuously. When we do that, they will realize quickly that the majority is alive and well in this country. And what most of these people who fight against us don't realize is everything that we fight for, they benefit from. They benefit from. Their children benefit. Their bank accounts benefit. They benefit from our fight. But we still have to fight. We can't stop fighting because they'll benefit. We have to fight, but we got to fight continuously. We have to fight. Say that. We have to fight continuously. Every one of these events, we should show up. We should bring people with us until we flood it to where it's overwhelming. When we overwhelm the system, that system will collapse. And they will realize that we are in charge. Thank you very much. I'm J Antoine Miner, Sr. God bless you. Give that man a big round of applause.
Guys, we want to turn it over here. We've got a fellow that's got a few words. And we really appreciate everybody that's had the courage to come up and speak today.
Hello. Wow, that was amazing. That was fantastic. Patriots! Sons of liberty! Daughters of liberty! Antifa! And I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. Proud Boys. How blessed are we? What a time to be alive. We are blessed. We are all in this together now. And we have a fight. A fight for our civil liberties. A fight for our freedoms and our future. I'm going to make it short. I really just wanted to say, get fired, get in trouble, be brave, and always keep fighting. Thank you.
Be brave and keep fighting. Patriots, do you understand we are currently in a revolutionary war? I ask you a question. Do you understand that we are at war? Many of us have over the years been concerned with the infiltration, the influx of socialism. Socialism infiltrated this country in the 50s. We are in the full implementation, not of socialism, but of actual communism. Do you understand that a dictatorship is currently being installed? Where's everybody from? Somebody shout out where you're from.
Winston-Salem.
My God, everywhere, huh? It took getting in the car. It took coming out here today. It took standing up. It took driving to listen to this bullshit, to stand out in the sun. But what that man just said was right. You see, having a job means nothing now. Having a 401k means nothing now. If you and I lose liberty today, we have lost it forever. We have no other option but to fight with everything that's in us. This is the very first time that I will say this in public. It has taken me a long time to come to the conclusion that we are okay to say this. Listen to me very closely. By bullet or by ballot, the restoration of the Republic will happen. We prefer, as the United Patriot Party, we prefer, as we come together as one, to exercise every means of peaceful resolution to change our government. But our government has already said it is not above or not against using lethal force to shut you down. We are in a war, and until we come to that conclusion, we lose. And we mustn't lose here. I want to make sure that I give you some absolute, concrete things we can do. These events are great, right? Would everybody agree? Hey, I love the flags. I love the signs. I love the camaraderie. I love coming out and meeting you guys. But at the end of the day, do you think Roy Cooper's sitting over in his mansion right now, shaking in his boots? Do you think any one of your elected representatives care that you are out here today? Then how do we bring them to the point of understanding that we are fed up and we will take no more? Listen to me. It is time that we change our approach. It is time that we go together as one. If it takes going from Raleigh to Winston-Salem, if it takes going from Winston-Salem to Asheboro, it doesn't matter. It's time that we go as one. One body, one voice, saying one message. We show up. We show up at their house. We show up. Guys, give me just 1 second. Let me find my little paper. I've lost it. Oh my God. Oh, hang on. Hang on here. Somebody's got my paper. Did I lose it? Oh, I think I've lost my paper. Oh no. Well, listen. I believe what she said was, nope, that's not it. I didn't check that box. It's not there either. She said, if you see anybody from this cabinet at the gas station, at the restaurant, if you see them out anywhere, you get in their face and you say you'll take no more. It's time for us to go to where they are. It's time that we as a huge body get together and we stand as one and we go to where they are. Listen, Mr. Miner brought up something about church. I am so sick. I love churches. Don't get me wrong, I love pastors, but I am so sick of seeing cowardly pastors who would lay down at the feet of the government and be afraid of a virus and not expose that Jesus is the author of liberty. He is the giver of that gift. It originates from Him, it goes forth from Him, and it will always stand within Him. And our pastors, our churches, are the ones that are failing us at the very first. That's right. I'm sick of people laying down, like you said, Mr. Miner, hiding behind a keyboard. It is time that we go to their houses. It's time that we go to their churches. Imagine going to a representative's church and saying, hey, why are you spending $4.5 trillion taxpayer dollars? Imagine if we went to a representative or a senator's house and we said, hey, why is it that you're allowing the president to buy 500 million doses from a private company to give overseas, purchased with the taxpayers' money? You see, you men and women, just by virtue of being here today, I know who you are. I know what you're about. I know that you get up, you go to work every day, or at least you try to. We've got nurses in our crowd. Give them a big round of applause. They want to go to work and they want to provide a service to the people around them. They want to exercise their education. And now we've got a government that's saying, no, we don't want you to do that until you pass certain tests. Guys, it's time that we step our game way up. Now, I'm not, listen to me very closely, I am not telling you to be violent.
That's right.
I'm not telling you to be violent. We are not there. I am telling you to get to these people. Let's begin organizing and going to their house, going to their church, going to their business, going to where they are to get our message across. That we demand. Let me back up just one step. We have for a lot of years requested. We have asked for a lot of years that our representation do certain things. It is now time that we demand. It is now time that we demand. Number one, an absolute adherence to the Constitution of the United States. They swore an oath to protect it. They swore an oath to defend it. And we expect them to do so.
It's time we get organized.
Before we go any further, you guys understand who I'm talking about here, right? I am not talking about the Democrat Party. Guys, I am talking about the people that I voted for.
That's right.
I'm talking about the Republican Party. Those are the people that I sent expecting to do a job and have failed every single time.
Yes, sir.
We expect, we demand, and we require an immediate tax overhaul. How many years have people demanded a tax overhaul? How many years?
Yeah.
It is time that we make that happen, that we change the tax code, and that we immediately move the monetary system of this nation away from the Federal Reserve. Does everybody here understand the Federal Reserve is a private bank? Huh? Do you understand that? We need to move the monetary system of the United States away from the Federal Reserve to the Treasury Department, where it will answer to we the people, not the banker. We have to demand these things. We expect, we demand, and we require an immediate, secure election system.
That's right.
It doesn't matter how hard I vote for David. It doesn't matter how hard I vote for Jay. If I can't depend on the election system to do its job, if I can't expect it to be trustworthy and true, then it will not matter. They will install whoever they choose to install, and we cannot allow that. It is 2021. We can, as Americans, we should be able to trust the system of elections that we have. What we have now is basically a kangaroo court. We expect, we demand, and we require border security. Don't clap yet. We've always focused on the door coming in. That door swings two ways. Okay? We've got people coming in. We've got money going out. When we talk about border security, we're not talking about just the immigration system. We're talking about the millions, billions, and trillions of dollars that are going out from your pocket to Pakistan, Afghanistan, all of the stands around the world. Especially China. I'm going to hurt some feelings. I want you to bear with me. If you're going to punch anybody in the eye over this, you're going to have to punch me. I'll let you. Can't hurt me though. I got to go to work Monday. You can punch me, you can slap me, you can claw at me, you do what you got, but I got to go to work Monday, so you can't hurt me. This is not about Donald J. Trump. I voted for him twice. It's not about Donald J. Trump. It's not.
It's about your body, your choice.
It's about you here today. This is not about what we read and imagine on the internet. This is about what we can see directly in front of us. Listen, if there's anybody here that loves a good conspiracy theory, it's me. I love them. But it's time to cut the shit, guys. I know everybody's waiting on the plan. The plan is to what gets you to sit still and do nothing until every ounce of your liberty and freedom is taken from you. That is the plan. The plan is to have you sit still and in a little bit of comfort that you have left. They want you to go to football games. They want you to go to the beach a couple of times a year. They want you to live in relative comfort until they have spent every dime, that they have reallocated every dime, not to the poor, but to themselves. We have two classes of people in this nation now. We have the political class and the rest of us. It's time that we begin to understand exactly who we're dealing with, exactly what their agenda is. And if we give up here, if we give one more inch of ground this day, we will lose this nation for a lifetime. Folks, the United Patriot Party is glad to be with you today. We're glad to have you out here. We're glad to party with you. We're going to open the mic up now. We're going to have an open mic time. I think Miss Mindy's going to come and say a few words. If anybody else has anything, the mic is here. I do ask one thing. Let's leave the microphone on the stand. Leave the microphone on the stand. Otherwise, if you've got something you want to share with this crowd, this is a good bunch. They're pretty loving right now. Come on out. This is Miss Mindy. Mindy is with two